As we have completed all the causes, we had the four causes here, and now we are going into the topic. It is immediate cause of revolt in 1857. See, this point, whatever we are going to discuss, this can be into your political issue, this can be put into your social religious issue. So let us look into what actually happened, and it just got blasted, ignited, and the revolt started. In 1856, we can say the issue of Carthage and ignited, I have written here. The issue of Carthage. It was something, Carthage was there and something was applied onto that one, and the system was like you had to bite it and then use it. And when you bite that part, at that part you have some greasing part is been applied. That is what the weapons are like. And British thought of it was replacing many of the new technologies and all. So the old muskets were removed and Enfield rifles were introduced in this year. And for that the cartridge was greased. The wrapping paper, whatever was put onto the top, that was greased, and it was believed that it was a fat of animal. The greasing part was the fat of animal, and it could be of cow or pig. And we know that as we the traditional people of India, we know how important, how auspicious this cow is for Hindus, and how pig is a taboo for, they don't touch, they don't eat pigs. How it is a taboo for Muslims. So the greasing material was fat, that was the issue, and the grease could be the fat of your cow and pig. The third issue was the Muslim sepoys and Hindu sepoys, they rejected. They did not want to go because they did not want to put the thing into their mouth, so they started rejecting. And from here the discontentment has gone off so very in depth into the people. They were not satisfied with whatever the British was doing into, and the revolt ignited. That was the point where the ignition started, the lighting started. Jaise we say na, the chingari bhadak gaya. That has started, and the whole of revolt gave a shape. After this we shall be going into each one particular place, at every place how the ignition started or how the revolt started. Like it is Meerut, Delhi, what exactly happened in these areas, and we shall be looking into that one. Beginning of the first war of independence, let us take the example of Mangal Pandey. He was the one who openly revolted against the Britishers regarding the use of the cartridge and whatever the socio-religious causes they have put into. He started revolting, and obvious the British was not ready to accept it. It was obvious there was a clash between Mangal Pandey and his the followers of him and the Britishers, and he openly started revolting against the Britishers, and in that revolt he killed two of the officers, and that is not accepted by the Britishers. So immediately he was arrested, tried and executed. And we can take the other example at Behrampur also, the same kind of thing happened, and the people started revolting and many of the officers were killed there, and even the regiment of Mangal Pandey and even the regiment of this Behrampur, they were disbanded. Totally they were removed, and the authority was given off to somebody else. They started creating the discontentment into the Indians, and the revolt was getting intensified. And we can see this is the open, and looking into this this example spread into the whole of the country in such a way that the other areas also started going off with many of the open revolts. And finally the country was totally into lots of agitation, and the revolts one after the other in major areas like Rani Lakshmi Bai and many of the areas, the revolts started going off in a higher way. As the revolts have started, and we have to look into each place, how the revolts are going on in every of the places. First look into the Meerut. On 10th of May 1857, we said that it is the Great Revolt of 1857. So 10th of May, there was a big revolt, and this revolt has started getting the news from, it is Mangal Pandey, then Behrampur, and these all news is where the open revolts have started, and people got the courage to, and everywhere the revolts have started. So first take the example of Meerut. So on 10th of May 1857, they started disobeying as Mangal Pandey has done. They have taken the initiative from there, and they started behaving the same way. They disobeyed, they killed the officers, and they started marching towards, because Delhi was our main one and it was the capital, so they wanted Delhi to be free from Britishers. So they started, some of the sepoys started from Meerut and they started moving off to Delhi. And after they have done this all things, they have released the people, they have terrified the Britishers there, and they started marching off towards Delhi. And on 12th of May they reached Delhi. They captured, there also they fought against Britishers, and they captured Delhi and killed some of the officers and declared Bahadur Shah II to be the Emperor of India. But British is not going to keep quiet. It is not over by this time that we have got our independence. So it fights back, British fights back, and Bahadur Shah Zafar was exiled to Burma, and he was removed from there, and he was thrown out, and he was put into exile. Means like we say, it is removing from the whole of the authorities and putting him there, and he is not allowed to come back to Delhi. He is not allowed there. So he is put back, he is sent off to Burma. In 1862 he dies off, later on he dies off there, and in front of him, when he was here, in front of him they have killed they have killed both of his sons. So this is the story. Now we shall be going to the next place. Next example is our Lucknow. In this, the residency of Begum Hazrat Mahal was besieged by the sepoys of Lucknow, and they started, and this Begum Hazrat Mahal supported the sepoys so that they could go there and besiege it, or they could capture the Mahal, which was under the Britishers. And after they have captured, she came there and she announced her son to be the Nawab of Awadh, and her son was Birjish Kadr. Sir Henry and other officials lost there when the whole of the fight was going on, the revolt was going on. The sepoys have come there and they wanted to get the residency back from the Britishers. Sir Henry and other officials lost their lives, and this was in 1857. In March 1858, Britishers recaptured Lucknow back, and the leader at that time, the revolt was going on, the leader at that time was Maulvi Ahmadullah. Next example is our Kanpur. In Kanpur, the sepoys, again we had a revolt the same way as it was going in Meerut, Lucknow and others. Here Nana Sahib was the head there. He was assisted by Tantia Tope and Azimullah. Later on there was a big revolt with the Britishers, and on June 1857 British lost, but again British is not going to keep quiet. It fought back in December and recaptured the Kanpur. Nana Sahib ran away from there, he escaped from there to Nepal, and later on after some years he dies there. Central India part, the last example here we are going to take, and we can say it is a trio, three of the people who have combined together. They fought and fiercely fought with Britishers, and they lost their lives in that. So here we can take the examples of Rani Lakshmibai, Tantia Tope and Kumar Singh of Bihar. Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi, she rebelled so very fiercely, and she was just 22 years old at that time. But still she was so very strong, and she started fighting with Britishers. And she had a point that the Britishers were not allowing her, like we had talked about the doctrine of lapse. The adopted son was not allowed to take up her legacy. So she was against that one, and she wanted her son, the adopted son, to be the next king after her. So she was fighting, and she lost her Jhansi. Britishers captured that Jhansi, and she somehow tried to escape from there, and she runs off to Gwalior, and there she joins hands with Tantia Tope. And there they have a good fight. Gwalior example we have taken. So they had a good fight, and she fought till her end, and she was killed in that fight. Now coming to the last one here, Kumar Singh. Kumar Singh, he was 75 years old person, but he was very strong enough, and he was the one who revolted very strongly and had a fierce fight with Britishers. So Kumar Singh, he revolted, and he had a fight. In that fight, he also lost his life. The conclusion, as we looked into all these examples, different places, how the people were fighting against British and how the British was coming back. But this, whatever the war they have done, or whatever the revolts the Indians have shown towards the Britishers or against Britishers they have fought, everything was unsuccessful. British somehow, again it was a powerful one, it was having all the technologies with it, so it has made a comeback. And in the very initial stages, British did not expect such kind of revolt, so it was losing, but immediately within 6 months, again the comeback has come, and the Indians were totally suppressed. So these are the examples, some of the examples we have taken, and the whole of India, the same kind of examples have gone with. So the Britishers have totally suppressed our Indian people. Many revolts have taken place, and suppression was also there totally. Now the Britishers have become so very careful also. They did not leave any kind of loophole so the Indians can come out with any of the revolts. So totally suppressed, strict rules were put on to. And finally, on 8th July 1858, Governor General Lord Canning proclaimed the end of the whole of the revolt. He declared there is no other revolt to be next in the coming years or coming days, and he totally said it is the end of the whole of the country is under the control of Britishers, and he was as the Governor General of the country. So we shall be going into next topic later.